What's up, y'all? It's the Oracle, and we're back with another Friday upload on the YouTube, guys. Today, what we're going to be diving into is the best tools to take your MLB betting to the next level. We're going to go over 3 free tools, 1 paid tool, and we are going to be showing you how to use these tools, how we use them. If we didn't have our algorithm, how they're sort of integrated into our algorithm, all that good stuff. But most importantly, I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can use them to become more profitable in all of your sports bets. Before we get into the tools, let's quickly go over how yesterday's premium went. We started off with 2 underdog L's, but after that, it was all W's. We hit with Jalen Brunson, absolutely cooked the Pacers there. Zach Wheeler got the first K. Then we had Jose Barrios, less than 2.5 runs versus the A's, and Cap for 11. Both of those hit. And we had Miles Turner, under 5.5 rebounds, and Miko to get at least 1 shot on goal. Those cashed. Little even money banger with the Nationals there. They hit. I know I usually don't go this low, but I thought it was a great play. Minus 150, cashing out on the Braves and Phillies under. And then to close it out, we went with the Knicks minus 4. So we were 6-2 on the day yesterday. And to celebrate that, I'm making sure everybody can get on the premium. So today, only this Friday, to end the month, since we're going to have a long stretch of MLB and NBA finals coming up, as well as some college baseball tournament action, I want everybody to be able to get in. So 80% off with code NUKE, boys. 80% off any lifetime package. Our lifetime is normally $500, but I'm giving it to you today only for $100. That's going to be available to the first 5 people that purchase the lifetime package. And with Klarna, at as low as $18 a month. So if you use Klarna, basically it's like switching it to the monthly style, even though you're still getting this lifetime. So once you pay off this 100, you never have to pay again, but you can pay on a monthly basis with Klarna for only $18 a month, guys. So make sure you take advantage, use code NUKE, and hop on there. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get into these tools. We're going to start off with the free ones, and then we will end with the paid tool. So this is one of my favorite tools, especially when you're looking for pitcher strikeouts to help you over-under. So this is called Team Ranks. They have a bunch of great stats. Obviously, you can see all the different ones they have over here. But my favorite personally is the strikeouts per game based on the teams. So what we're going to do here is let's go over to ESPN. This is another one of our free tools. We're going to pair these two together. ESPN is great for just general stats and kind of like looking at the lines just to get a feel before the day. So this is how we're going to use ESPN. We're just going to look, see our different pitchers here, see our different lines, and if you kind of want to get more in depth on it here, like you can see more stats about the game, over-unders, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to be using ESPN for today. So for example, let's take a look at this game here, the Reds versus the Cubs. I'm not sure. Let's just say Colin Reed. I know he's a short pitcher, so actually I don't want to use him. He only pitches a few innings. But let's just make up a line. Let's say Walker's line. I know from the history of looking at him, it's usually at about 4.5 strikeouts. So we're going to look at how the Brewers hit. So let's see where the Brewers are here in terms of striking out. Let's see, where's Milwaukee? All right, so they're about even. So what we do with this number, or they're not about even, they're about in the middle. Sorry for calling it even. But so what that means is basically Walker is going to be doing, about normal. Do we want to take that pick? Probably not, because that means the books are going to know that Walker's normal is about 4.5 Ks. At that point, you're basically just doing a coin flip. What we want to find is who is pitching versus these teams, who's pitching versus the Angels, Colorado, Boston. Those teams strike out a ton. So let's see if we can find somebody facing one of those. Like Ortiz might not be bad to pitch against. Whoever's facing Peterson might not be a bad line. And Holmes might not be a bad line. So that's how you're going to use this tool. You're going to see the teams that strike out the most. Obviously, the books also know that fact that these teams strike out a lot. So if their line seems a little bit juiced, take that into account. It's best to know. See, I'm doing this all day. I know you guys probably aren't, but I'm looking at it all day, so I know what a guy's line should be. Like, for example, I know that Walker's line is usually about 4.5 strikeouts per game. I know most of the guys' line just based off the top of my head, so I can know, oh, they got it this way. They added a strikeout or they subtracted a strikeout based on the matchup, and that's the best way to go about it. But for you guys, I know that's going to be a little bit more tough. So just take that into account, and you kind of pair that with their recent form. So if they've been striking out a lot, getting a lot of Ks, and you notice they're facing a team that strikes out a lot and the line is about average, then you could take it. So that's a good way. That's one of my favorite tools. Second tool we're going to be using, we also use this tool for basketball, is RotoWire. This is a fantastic tool. In basketball, it's a lot bigger, but it's still very important in MLB. The bets you can use for this to look at, I mean, it pretty much impacts any bet, but specifically, if you're doing a money line, you want to just make sure that everyone is expected to be starting. You don't want, Kyle Tucker out on the Cubs. You don't want, if you're betting on the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz. You just want to make sure all the star players are there. You want, if you were betting on the Angels, you would see that Mike Trout is back. Lately, he's always been injured, but now he's back. So you need to know these things when you're betting against teams, who's playing, who's not playing. And RotoWire is going to give you the best chance to know exactly. These aren't posted out anywhere. RotoWire does the expected lineup for you ahead of time. These lineups are not official. You can see once it is confirmed, it will turn green. So just take a look at those. RotoWire is very accurate. And if somebody's questionable, they have a little diagnosis there next to them if they're questionable, usually. So that is how we use this tool. And what it can be good for as well is if you're trying to bet on no runs in the first inning. Here you go. Here are the expected 3 first batters in the first inning. Who's playing today? What's the lineup going to look like? Very, very important before you make any bet. And obviously it also tells you the probable pitchers. I would use this a little more than ESPN. This is going to be more accurate. RotoWire will. But you can just get the general sense on ESPN. And then our last tool, which we talked about in one of our other videos, which isn't exclusive for baseball, but it's hidden behind my face. But if you go over here, there are some settings that you can put it. If you only want to bet on baseball, you can change it to that. But for example, today, expected EV bets. If you don't know what they are, you didn't watch our last video. This is basically saying FanDuel compared to all the other sports books here, they're giving you plus 170. The average sports book is giving you plus 143. And there's a 5% edge overall on the line FanDuel is giving you compared to the average. So this is a good bet. I think I have it set to 3,000 bankroll. I don't know. I just set a random bankroll for you guys. So OddsJam is recommending you bet $20 on this play on FanDuel because there is great value. The probability is 38.9%, and FanDuel, based on their odds, has it at a 37% chance. So you should hammer it. The expected value is going to give you 5% extra on FanDuel. So this is a tool you can use to make sure mathematically you're choosing the best plays. Like here's another one for baseball. These are mathematical edges that you guys have, and if you bet on these in volume, you will be profitable. So those are my favorite tools, and we integrate these all into our algorithms, and they take all these things into account to give you the best plays. So if you guys don't want to do all this work, you want to just get it taken care of for you every single day. Our algorithms are doing this. I'm doing this to double check the plays. And this is how we're able to become so profitable at sports betting, doing the little things like these. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch. As usual, we will be doing our Friday giveaway. So we'll give away a free month of picks to someone who comments below in the comments section. Thank you guys for watching the entire video. Make sure you're subscribed to be entered into the giveaway. Like, comment, sub, and you will be entered into a monthly package giveaway. Let's eat, guys. Thanks for watching.